Hi everyone, this is a 10 puzzle number 2 from Conceptis Puzzle. The first step is to determine the empty cells. Empty cell is not in contact with the tree even diagonally. Let's see what happens row by row. In the row number 1, this is an empty cell according to the main condition, and the second one is here. Row number 2, empty cell is here and empty cell is here. Row number 3 here and row number 3 here. Row number 4 here, here and here. Row number 5, empty cell is here and here, and finally in this row the last empty cell in this stage of solving is here. Row number 6 is here and here. Row number 7 would be here and here. And finally, the row number 8, empty cells are positioned in this, and finally this cell. Okay, what now? Let's have a look what happens with the column number 6. The condition for this column is to have 3 tenths. Now, the main condition is that the tenths cannot be touched, and the consequences is that in these two cells there is a chance for just 1/10. Same logic is here. There would be just 1/10 here, and finally there is a position for the remaining tenth in this column number 6, and here has to be a tenth. If there is a tenth at this position, here and here cannot be, and here are the empty cells. Now, the main condition for the row number 8 is to have 1/10, and this is the 1/10, and here will be empty cells. Now, the condition for the row number 7 is to have a 1/10. But if at this cell is a tenth, in this condition there is no possibility to have tenths here or here. The conclusion is that here must be an empty cell. If there is an empty cell here, there is only one position for the tenth here for these 3. Here has to be a tenth. Further, the condition for the column number 1 is to have 2 tenths. Here is the 1/10, and here is the only possible solution to have another tenth at this column. And here is a tenth to make a condition for the column number 1. This cell and this cell are empty, here and here. Now, column number 2, there's just one cell to make a tenth, and of course for this 3 there is just one cell to make a tenth here, and here has to be a tenth. If there is a tenth here at this cell, the condition for the row number 7 is to have 1/10 and here has to be the empty cell. If there is a condition for the tree to have a tent, here has to be a tent, because every tree has to have a one tent. The condition for the column number 4 is one tent, and here has to be the empty cells, here and here. Same as it was for the column number 4, the same situation is for the row number 2. There is only one tent, and this is the one. The remaining cells will be empty. This tree, there is only one cell to make the tent, and this is the position for the tent here. A column number 3, there is a condition for to have one tent. This is the tent, and here has to be the empty cell. The remaining two cells have to be the tents, because the main condition for the two tents in the row number 1. Here is a tent, and here at this cell is a tent. Because the condition for to have one tent in column number 7, these two cells have to be empty, and this cell. Now, the column number 8 has two tents, and there are 3 cells, and only one possible combination is to have tent here and here. Another argument for this is that these 3 has to have a tent, and there is one and only position for this tent, and here is a tent. Now, next to this tent is of course empty cell, and finally here there is a need for the last remaining tent at the column number 8 or row number 6, and here has to be the empty cell. Here for the row number 4 there are already 2 tents, and here has to be an empty cell. And the remaining 2 tents for the column number 6 are positioned here and here. And this is the final solution. Thank you very much.